Happy Friday or Friday. So I totally apologize. First of all, my hair is pretty, I just woke up looking-ish. Anyway. So I just had a message delivered to me and I had to share it. So first of all, I have to say, someone has been hitting my consciousness a shitload lately. And it's very compelling because I haven't seen this person in 23 years. So, yeah, totally weird. But anyway, the significance of the birdhouse. So it's kind of like most people, actually, let me say most, as a term of love, like you love someone, let's say it's their birthday, it's a holiday, something like that. You get them flowers, right? But you don't get them a plant. You don't buy them a rose bush. You buy them a cut bouquet, meaning you have now shortened the life of that beautiful thing because you wanted to possess it. So it's the same way. Like, I personally would rather have a plant. I used to say this. I've actually said this to a couple men in my life, and they looked at me like I was ungrateful, but I needed them to see what I was seeing when I got a bouquet of cut flowers. I says, oh, cool, you got me some beheaded flowers. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's not that I was being ungrateful. In fact, the opposite. I wanted to express gratitude for the flowers because, like, why didn't they give me a plant? Because it was like, it's like they had to sacrifice the flowers to prove how much they loved me. Even though they didn't sacrifice the flowers, but they were promoting the person that was sacrificing flowers to prove love. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, for me, love is giving life, not taking life. So, I mean, obviously it's a case-by-case basis because sometimes for love, you have to take a life. But when it comes to a flower, like, what the hell did the flower do? So that brings me back to birdhouses. So my dad's favorite poem is called The Butterfly. In fact, when he passed away, I got a tattoo of a butterfly, a blue butterfly, on the back of my arm, just above my elbow. And below my elbow is my dad's poem called The Butterfly. And the poem says, a butterfly lights beside us like a sunbeam, and for a brief moment its beauty and glory belong to our world. But then it flies on again, and though we wish it could have stayed, we feel so lucky to have seen it. That brings me to birdhouses. Everybody, I don't know anybody that doesn't like birds unless they've been pooped on one. Or they're confined to their personal hell of being trapped in society's little box or whatever. But most people really love birds. They love what they represent. They love everything about them because they express freedom. They represent, heavenly bodies because of the wings, and they're free, right? They're still hunted. They're still preyed upon. They're, some birds, quote unquote, are better than others. Like, everybody respects the eagle, but people are afraid of the crow and the raven. Why? They all have a purpose. It's like raccoons. They call them trash pandas. I love raccoons. I think they're probably some of the most resourceful creatures on the planet. Get a birdhouse. Get a birdhouse. Learn the bird's language. Feed the bird. Water the bird. Put a bird bath out for the bird. And then the bird will want to hang out with you. You have accommodated the bird. The bird feels welcome. The bird feels like you appreciate it. The bird feels like you're trying to understand it because you're providing shelter, you're providing sustenance, food, you're providing water. We're carbon-based creatures. Everything on Earth is carbon-based. If it's alive, it's carbon-based, which makes us mostly water. So we got to have water. If we learn the language, and even if it's just random whistles, we're trying to communicate. And most of our language as humans is non-verbal. So why is it so hard for people to appreciate and not dominate? Hence the birdhouse. I think we all need to live as though we're trying to be shepherds for birds, but for people. We don't want to dominate them. We don't want to confine them. And we definitely don't want to kill them. We want to accommodate them. We want to make them feel welcome. We want to provide shelter, whether it be actual shelter or spiritual shelter, emotional shelter, sustenance, food. It could be physical food. It could be spiritual food. Water, water is the most persistent thing on the face of the earth next to wind. Actually, I think water's better than wind. I'm going to say that because I'm a Pisces. I'm a fish. But we flow. Water flows and it cuts through rock. Not because of its strength, but because of its persistence. So the point of the birdhouse would be an ideal heaven for most. You welcome the bird, you accommodate the bird, you make the bird feel welcome, and you provide something for the bird saying, I appreciate you. I want you around, but I'm not trapping you. I want you here by your own free will. And that's my message for today.